Hello everyone. Today we are going to show you how to see data detection response or DDR in action, helping you detect and respond to a potential data breach before it happens in your organization. So what is exactly DDR? Data detection and response is our approach to continuously monitoring your environment, keeping an eye on things like file modifications, file sharing, and new user creation. By tracking this kind of activities, DDR gives you visibility into suspicious activities so you can head off a potential data breach before any real damage is done. So let's jump into a real world example of how this works in practice. I'm going to navigate to our dashboard of DRA trial. First, we need to make sure that we connected to OneDrive account. This is done on the very first step of connecting to data sources when we authenticate with OneDrive. You can see that later in your environment by navigating into data scans, all of the data sources available here in one place. DDR is automatically activated and starts monitoring your environment whenever you add a new data source in DRA trial. So let me go to OneDrive, and here you can see my OneDrive environment for the organization. I'm going to create a new folder and upload some files into it. These actions simulate what someone might do when they're attempting a data breach, gathering files, moving them into a new location, and potentially staging them for exfiltration. So let me create a new folder. And in this folder, I will upload already files that I gathered. And as in many other organizations, in my company, it is prohibited to use WeTransfer and other tools for sharing data, so they just simply blocked in my browser. So what I'm doing now is that I'm loading files to this environment. I'm going to share them publicly so I can easily access them from a different machine. To do so, I simply need to go to share with anyone, apply, and copy the link. Now I can go into incognito and try and access files from a different machine. You can see me going to a different machine and now accessing this folder that's available now to me. So I can go and download all of the files. So what I've done is I simulated a data breach. I gathered files, stored them on my computer, I moved them to a new location, and set them for staging, and then I exfiltrated them through appropriate channel in my environment. There was a set of red flags, like external sharing of sensitive data, and then download of those files. All of these events, file uploads, public sharing, modifications, are automatically captured and sent to our DDR dashboard. As you can see in our environment, you can navigate to multiple places where we have a full log of these events, but most importantly, we prepare them for your consumption on our DDR dashboard. Now let's go to our DDR dashboard. In this dashboard, you're able to see public exposure of sensitive data, external sharing of sensitive data, public exposure of PI files, file activity that suggests risks. All of this information is contextually classified and prioritized. So you're not just seeing raw activity, you're seeing insights into what matters. When event occurs and it's high severity event, we send alert notification so you can navigate our dashboard and see all of the events that's happened. Here you can see 5 files that's been publicly exposed that contain PI information. We can dive deeper into details for each of those incidents. As you can see, we have all of those files. They contain PI information. They classified as highly confidential, and they are at high risk because they've been publicly shared. We can see why our system identify this file as at risk. We can see classification of a file. We know the permissions to this file. And more importantly, we know what led to this incident. You can see that the file was uploaded, at what time it was first uploaded. And then you even can see events like a file was anonymously accessed and downloaded. You know the IP address of this user, you know the location of this user, you know what channel was used for this exfiltration. We have all of this forensic information for you to take appropriate action. And this is the end of the presentation. Thanks for watching. If you need more help or want to dive deeper, check out the links in description below. Thank you.